Hey Rose, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to stay at the office later than I thought.
That's fine. I don't care. I already ate dinner anyway. I'm going to go to sleep, so don't be too loud when you come back in. Oh, and buy some ice cream from the store on your way home, too.
Okay, I will. But you have a minute to talk right now? There's something I need to talk to you about.
What's up? Is it important?
Well, it's about work. To be honest, I guess the performance of the company hasn't been the best lately, and they have not been making as many sales as before.
I remember you mentioning something like that before. And?
Well, it turns out they're trying to cut my salary a little from next month.
Are you kidding me? Can they even do that? What about your summer bonus? Surely that at least they can't touch, right?
They haven't mentioned that, and I can't really say for sure. But it's probably better to just assume it won't be coming this year.
I don't believe this. And this year, I was really set on finally going on a trip to Europe. I thought one of the main benefits of this job was that you get a particularly good summer bonus. If they get rid of it, what's even the point? Can't you do something about this?
It's not really up to me to decide whether I get a bonus or not. I mean, of course I'd also love to get it. A lot of our clients have been going to insolvency one after the other.
That's got nothing to do with the average employee, though.
I know that's the case, but our company also isn't the biggest one out there. So they can't afford to keep giving out bonuses if business goes bad. It's possible that even we will have to file for bankruptcy.
You guys too? And so you're just not going to have a job?
Well, even if we do go bankrupt, there's no need to worry too much. I've already started to line up a new place that will accept me in case that happens, so I won't be out of a job. The pay will be less though, unfortunately. Don't worry though, it won't affect you, Rose.
How is it not going to affect me if your salary keeps going down? How am I supposed to pay for my manicures? For the hairdresser? Can I just keep spending the same amount on makeup and clothing too then?
Well, about that, I would like you to cut back on some of those things. I mean, I've been thinking for a little while that you may already be spending a little too much there. Afterwards, let's sit down together and go over the budget and where we can cut down on some things.
Fine, but there's no way that'll start working.
It's okay, I know that. I'm not asking you to find a job. Just work with me a little to cut down on some expenses.
I can't believe this. This really sucks.
Come on, don't be like that. The company hasn't gone bankrupt just yet, and I'm doing my best for the both of us here.
That stuff has nothing to do with me.
Look, I'll try as much as I can to make sure it doesn't affect you. But sometimes you make these really big purchases. You know, like a bag that costs a couple $1,000s or the like. It's those sorts of things that will be easiest and best to cut down on.
This really is the worst. I had already found the next bag I wanted to buy too.
I'm sorry.
Summer is already fast approaching. Are you trying to tell me that I'm going to have to wear the same outfits I did last year?
Listen, I'm not telling you that you can't buy any clothes or anything like that. I'd just like you to cut down on some of the really expensive purchases, that's all. Another thing is all of the Uber Eats you've been ordering. I mean, it costs far more to order there. Plus, there's the delivery fee too. So rather than that, I think we could try cooking ourselves more and see how it goes from there. It's also been a while since I've had your cooking. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
I never cooked for you before.
What? Right after we got married, you used to cook for a while. I know that was a while ago, but you did.
That wasn't me. That was like a home catering service. Somebody else cooked it.
Oh, was that it?
I don't know how to cook at all. And you know I can't clean either. You should know that being with me costs a lot of money. So, if you want to stay together, you better make sure you're still making enough money for me to live the lifestyle I want.
That's what I'm trying to do here.
Doesn't matter if you try. What I want to see is results. What's the use if you really try hard, but your salary just keeps getting cut and I can't buy what I want? You're the one who wanted to get married, so you better hold up your end of the bargain.
Right, but when we got married, we both promised to support each other, remember?
So what if we did?
Well, it seems to me that that time has come, you know, to support each other.
Doesn't seem that way to me. I see you trying to rely on me and ask me to sacrifice things. You're the only one who is asking me to cut down on Uber Eats and shopping.
If you put it like that, yeah, sure. But it's not like I'm trying to tell you to go to work or anything. I'm just asking for a bit of understanding and cooperation with daily expenses.
Man, it's tiring me out talking to you. I'm going to sleep.
Wait, what?
I just had a nice relaxing bath too, but this has completely ruined my mood. When you come back tonight, you can sleep on the couch. I don't want to see your face next to me when I wake up.
Okay, I'll sleep on the couch tonight.
Not only that, I've noticed recently that you're getting older. You smell worse and worse. Look after your hygiene a bit more. I don't want to be around someone that smells bad. You smell more and more like an old man each year. I'm going to just pretend that you didn't say anything about work or your salary or cutting down on anything. You better think long and hard and figure out how to fix it though.
A few months later. Hey Rose, I'm coming home early tonight.
What? Why? I got plans tonight, so even if you come home early, I probably won't be around.
Could you postpone your plans a little tonight? I've got something really important to talk to you about.
No way. It's my friend's birthday today. If you need to tell me something, just send it by text. I'll take a look at it later.
Fine, I'll just tell you now then. My company is going to file for bankruptcy.
What? Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, I'm being serious. We all tried our best to keep everything afloat, but nothing could be done in the end. That being said, I still have a few things I need to take care of this month, so I'll still be heading to work as usual to the end of the month.
I told you that I don't care about whether you all try hard or not. Bankruptcy is bankruptcy. If there's no company, you have no job. What's going to happen to me? We won't have to move out of this house, will we?
We've got enough savings to get us through, I think, but it's hard to tell exactly what will happen right now. It might be better to move to a place with slightly lower rent. Luckily enough, our contract is expiring soon too, so it might not be a bad idea to move then.
I don't believe this.
I'm sorry. But like I said before, don't worry. I'll still make sure you can have the life you've gotten used to. I'll probably be really busy for a while, but I promise I'll end up making even more money than I have been up until now.
And when will that be?
Even if you ask me something like that, I can't really tell you. All I can say is it'll be as soon as possible.
And I'm supposed to just continue living and trusting such vague comments from you? Because I can't do that. I need some stability.
I knew it! We're just going to end up in the same position as that friend of yours who stupidly started working for that startup company. Don't say things like that. I'm going to keep this under control. I told you I'd make sure this doesn't affect you badly.
It already is! You're telling me that you don't have a job anymore, and we don't know how we're going to live or pay for things.
I'll be able to find another job quickly. I already talked to a friend about this possibility a while ago.
You told me last time that the job would have a much lower pay.
Well, it definitely won't be as high as it is now, but it will definitely be enough for the two of us to live on. I don't understand why you're getting so upset about this.
I wasn't able to go to Europe this summer. I also wasn't able to buy the Gucci bag I wanted.
It's not like you weren't able to buy anything at all.
Listen closely, because I'm going to tell you clearly right now. If you don't have money, I have no interest in you.
Wait, what are you saying?
The only reason I married you was because you were earning more money than everyone else at the time. If that weren't the case, there's no way I'd marry you. Do you really think I'd go for someone as ugly as you if you weren't rich?
Is that how you've been thinking this whole time? It might be true that I'm not the best looking guy around, but...
Obviously not.
But were you also lying when you said that you liked my personality? You mean when I said that you're kind?
That wasn't a lie, actually. You're pretty gentle and will do whatever I ask. I like that. But having money is still the most important condition. Like I said before, I'm not interested in you if you have no money to support my lifestyle.
Rose, please tell me you're lying.
Wake up, Sam. Open your eyes and look at reality. Do you really think there's something about you that's attractive for a woman apart from your money? We've been together because you're quiet and don't hold back on giving me money to spend. That's all there is to it.
And here I've been doing my very best to try and make your life even better.
And how did that go? Ended up with your company going bankrupt.
But I really loved you.
Yeah, thanks. That's because I spent a lot of money on beauticians and other stuff to look like this.
I'm not talking just about your appearance. You're really confident and straightforward. I really like that about you. You have a lot of qualities that I myself lack. And you were extremely kind up until we got married.
What, you only just noticed that I changed after we got married?
Well, I had been thinking that you got a little colder than before. But since I'd seen how kind you could be, I kept hoping that the real you would come back to the fore sooner or later.
I was just kind to you so that you would marry me. After that, I was nice. I don't know, probably just when I wanted something.
I see. So you really had no feelings for me at all?
There's no way I would get married just for feelings or love. I'm not that kind of person to put emotions first and then suffer through some miserable existence with no money. Whether your life turns out happy or tragic, it all depends on who you marry. And I guess in this case, I misjudged you.
I'm sorry about that.
So, when it comes to a broke man, it's time for divorce. There's no reason to stay with you anymore. There's no guarantee that you'll make the same amount of money again, or that you ever will at all. Women's looks have an expiration date, you know. I gotta hook the next man before it's too late.
Fine, I won't say anything more.
Oh, thank God. It would have been a real pain if you tried to cling on to this. Remember though, I still want my half of the assets in the divorce. Also, I'll get the divorce papers ready tomorrow, so make sure you sign them.
Okay.
You know, I almost feel bad for treating you like this right after you lost your job. But don't hold it against me, okay? It's your fault for trying to punch above your weight and get a girl like me. You should have married someone so out of your league.
A few years later.
Hey, it's been a while. How have you been, Sean?
Who's this? Rose?
Yep, glad you still remember me.
Right.
Sorry for messaging you out of the blue, but there's something that caught my interest about you.
What do you want?
There's nothing in particular.
Then stop messaging me. I thought you'd already blocked me, so I didn't bother doing it from my end. I'll block you on everything in a second.
Wait a minute. I got something I want to talk to you about. I actually saw something about you in an article. It said that you're a CEO now.
That's right.
Congratulations! You've done so well.
Thanks.
I knew I was right when I chose to marry you. I really do have a good sense. Well done, well done. You wanted me to come back to you, so you must have worked really hard.
What, do you think I did anything for you? I did it for my wife and child.
Wait, what? You're married and have a child? How can that be?
I don't know how I could make that any simpler. I remarried and we had a child. So now I've been doing my best for my family.
You got remarried?
Yep.
But it hasn't even been 5 years since we got divorced. And you're not only just married, but you have a kid too?
5 years is a long time.
When did you get married?
About 3 years ago.
That means that, at the longest, you and your wife only dated for 2 years. But there's no way that you started seeing someone straight after the divorce, right?
Well, we started dating about 6 months after the divorce.
What? You really found another woman so quickly? I don't believe it. I bet you're getting the wool pulled over your eyes again.
I don't want to hear anything like that from you. After the divorce was over, I heard from one of our mutual friends that you'd already been seeing someone before we ended things.
And where's your proof of that?
I don't have any, and I'm not even trying to accuse or blame you for it. But I do know that you were seeing a whole load of different guys as soon as we divorced. So I don't want to hear anything from you about 6 months being too soon or whatever.
Don't you realize that you're just going down the same path here? Let me tell you something. You should divorce your wife.
My wife and I trust each other very much. There's nothing for you to worry about.
I wonder about that. She's definitely just a woman who sniffed out some money and sunk her teeth into you.
You couldn't be further from the truth. We used to work together. And she's the one who helped me build my business from the ground up. She's really someone who is irreplaceable to me. Honestly, even if it were the case that she was tricking me just for my money at this point, I'd even be okay with that.
You haven't changed at all. You're still just as laid back as ever. But I'm one of these women, so I know and can tell you, any women around you are just there for money.
Don't project yourself onto other people. Not everyone is like you. My wife definitely isn't like that.
Coming from you, who were completely taken in by all my lies? How could you be so sure?
It's exactly because I was tricked by you like that I can tell. I've become more cautious since. Because unlike you, my wife hasn't changed since we got married. She's still the same person. You're wrong about her.
Sam, listen to me. I'm the one person who understands you best. I know that deep down, you really want to be with and live together with someone as beautiful as me again. You chose me, and I know that you're a sucker for beautiful women.
I told you that I didn't choose you just for your looks.
You don't need to lie to me. I mean, obviously, a beautiful woman is better than an ugly one.
Is that what you messaged me to talk about? Sorry, but I'm pretty busy.
Look, I'm willing to give you another chance and meet again.
What?
I bet your wife showed up sometime when you had no money to your name. So she must not be that good looking at all. Plus, if she worked with you at your previous company, she must be as plain looking as they come. So, what do you say? Now that you have the money again, why not go back to your happily married life? It's not a bad deal.
No, it's not a bad deal. It's the worst deal possible.
Are you seriously saying that?
Living with you was a horrible time of my life. My life now is complete heaven compared to that time. I can come home every day to my loving wife and child and eat her home-cooked meals. Not only that, but she can help me out with work. People like her are hard to come by. I feel like I don't even deserve someone like her. She's too good for me.
I bet she's just delivering all the food just like I did, right? And how do you even know that it's your kid? You have no idea.
Just give up already. The two of us are complete strangers now. Stop saying those kinds of things about my wife. If you say anything more, I'm of the mind to sue you for libel. Should I call my lawyer now?
Oh, wait, don't. There's no reason for that. That was just a joke right now.
There are some things that you just don't joke about.
But, Sam, you said that I was really kind before, and you like that, right? There was never anything for you to get angry at me for.
That was when you were my wife, and I of course loved you then. Now I feel nothing toward you at all.
But I was your wife before.
And now you're a total stranger.
To be honest, I've always regretted splitting with you. I only realized it after, but someone kind and gentle like you is a perfect match for me. I really had to gather up all my courage to finally contact you again today.
Okay, and so what? None of that has anything to do with me.
Don't be so cold.
I roughly know your situation, although I'm exactly not sure what it is right now. You weren't able to get married again after our divorce, right? No matter how many rich guys you'd approach and try to fool like you did me, they never fell for it. And now you're still on your own, right?
That's just because I couldn't forget about you, Sam.
If that were true, you would have messaged me earlier, not waited 5 years. You only messaged me because you found out that I became a CEO from that article you read. I bet you thought that you would finally get some more money again. Did you really think I'll be tricked by you again?
That's not it. I really did love you before. It just took me a long time to realize it. Don't accuse me of such things, Sam.
As if I'd ever be able to believe anything you say again. It's not me that you like, it's just my money. But you know, I felt grateful to you after the divorce. Thanks to you leaving like you did, I was able to meet my amazing wife. I'm really glad you realized that we weren't in the same league and left. After that, I immediately blocked Rose on all platforms. Every now and then I hear something about her from some of her friends. It's not clear whether she's aiming too high or maybe all the men she approaches see right through her, but it seems that she just can't manage to hold anyone down. Of course, being married or in a relationship isn't the only important thing in life. There are plenty of people who are completely happy being single. But in Rose's case, she has always wanted to just get married and live an easy life off of the back of her husband's labor, so it's not the best situation for her. Apparently, she's really rushing around like crazy to find someone to marry her. And although she's in her mid-30s, she still only aims for rich guys in their 20s. For someone like Rose, who has never worked a day in her life and just spent it relaxing, it must be hard to even get into situations to meet men like that. I don't know how long it will take her to view herself objectively and see reality how it is, but the way things are going, she's not going to get her hands on what she really wants.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey Mom, hope you've been doing well lately. I wanted to talk to you about Christmas this year. We decided that we'll come after all, so all three of us are planning to stay with you guys. Things might get a little hectic, but we're really looking forward to seeing you guys.
I see. And how long will you be staying?
Right now, the plan is just for 2 nights. We'll get there Christmas Eve and leave the next morning.
All right. Well, I shouldn't need to tell you this, but having that many guests in the house will mean a lot of work for me. I expect you to pull your own weight, so be prepared for that.
I was always intending to help out.
There will be cooking, cleaning, decorating, setting out the presents. Oh, my goodness, I'm going to have so much to do. So I hope you aren't planning on relaxing, because as long as I'm working, you're going to be right there beside me.
Okay, I understand, Mom. By the way, I've been meaning to ask you. We sent you a little present for your birthday. Did it arrive yet?
Yes, it came in the mail.
What? Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. You never mentioned anything about it, so I was getting a little concerned that it got lost in the mail or something.
Did you expect me to go out of my way to send you a message over something like that? Oh, please.
And one more thing. My daughter drew you a picture, too. Did you see it?
You mean that piece of scrap paper? I ripped that filthy thing to shreds and threw it in the trash where it belongs.
You threw it away? But Mom, she worked really, really hard on that picture for you. She was really excited to hear what you thought of it. Did you really throw it away?
Isn't that what I just said? I mean, really, that was supposed to be a picture of me? It didn't look a thing like me. It looked like some drunkard spilled paint all over the paper and spread it around with his face.
Ma, couldn't you consider her feelings just a little bit? She drew that for you. She wanted to make her grandma happy on her birthday.
Why would I be happy to receive a piece of garbage in the mail?
Really, Mom? Garbage?
I feel so sorry for the poor tree that met its end just to be made into the paper that horrific picture was painted on. Next time you think to send me some stupid sentimental trash like that, send me more presents instead. You have no common sense at all.
Mom, I am begging you. Can't you please just try and be kinder to her? Can't you just have a normal relationship?
Excuse me?
It's killing me to see the way you treat her, and I'm sure she feels just as bad. She's been looking forward to seeing you. I don't want to go all the way over there just for you to be cold to her.
And why should I be anything but cold to her? I was very clear about my expectations for you, and yet you failed me miserably. Maybe if you had given birth to a boy like I told you, I would feel differently.
Oh, for Pete's sake, are you still mad at me for having a daughter instead of a son?
Of course I am. What good is a daughter-in-law who gives me a granddaughter when I asked for a grandson? And to think I have to host such a useless daughter-in-law and the granddaughter I never wanted in my house during Christmas.
Mom, I promise you I will work my tail off while we're staying with you guys. I will do everything that you ask me to do. I will do all of the work for you if you want. I don't care if you never accept me as your daughter-in-law, so please keep on treating me however you want. But please, please, won't you accept your granddaughter?
The only thing that you can possibly do that will ever get me to accept you or that girl is to give me a grandson. That's the bare minimum I expect from you. And if you can't even do the bare minimum required of you, just what good are you anyway?
Hey there, Mom. We just got to your house.
I see. The door is open. You can let yourselves in.
Are you home right now?
No, I went over to a friend's house. They have a lovely vegetable garden, and they're sharing some of the produce with me. I'll come back after having a cup of tea.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we'll just let ourselves in, like you said.
I won't be home for a while, so make sure to get dinner ready for all of us. Once you're done with that, clean the toilets and bathtubs in the main bathroom and the guest bathroom.
Is it all right if I use whatever's in the fridge for dinner?
Absolutely not. That's all for the big family dinner tomorrow. Don't you dare touch any of it. There will be a lot of relatives and neighbors coming tomorrow, so I stocked up early to ensure I'd have enough to feed everyone.
Dinner? Oh, okay. Then what should I do about dinner?
I shouldn't have to tell you that, you useless girl. Go to the store and buy everything you need yourself.
Right. Is there anything you'd like me to fix for you tonight?
It's a bit chilly outside. I think I'm in the mood for something that will warm me up after the cold walk home.
Okay, how about I make up a quick batch of some chicken soup?
Chicken soup? Oh, what a terribly dull choice. Is that all you can make?
Would you rather I fix something else?
No, you can stick with the chicken soup. If I asked you to make anything more complicated, you'd probably end up burning the house down.
Yeah, I'll bet you're right.
And when you're done shopping, cooking, and cleaning for tonight, work on getting tomorrow's dinner ready to cook. Then you can go into the basement storage room and wrap all the presents I've prepared. You know where the wrapping paper is, right?
Yeah, I remember from when I helped you out last year.
Good. After you've finished wrapping the presents, I want you to go and spread salt out on the sidewalk and driveway. We're supposed to get a nasty blizzard rolling in tonight. I don't want anyone coming tomorrow to slip and fall. You're going to have my entire house spick and span by tomorrow morning. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
You said you were going to work, and I am going to hold you to that promise. Make sure to do it all right. I better not have to fix any of your mistakes.
I'll be careful.
And don't think just because you cleaned the house for me that I suddenly accept you as my daughter. Just like giving me a grandson, this is the bare minimum I expect from you. I did the same thing for my mother-in-law when I married my husband, too.
I know, you've told me about that before. Oh, and one more thing, where should I put all of our luggage?
You can't put my son's things in the guest bedroom. Take a clean set of sheets out of the closet and make the bed for me while you're in there.
The guest room? But that room only has a single bed. It won't be big enough for all three of us.
I know.
Then how are we all going to fit in that room? And where are we supposed to
You're not. You and the girl won't be staying in that room.
stay?
The shed in the backyard. I put an old blanket and pillow in there for you, so that's where you'll be sleeping the next 2 nights.
The shed?
That's what I said.
Shed? You want us to sleep in the shed overnight when there's a blizzard coming?
The shed has a roof and doors that will keep out the wind and snow. It might be a little bit dirty in there, so you'll have to change into clean clothes before you come into the house in the morning.
Okay, Mom, that is not happening. You can't expect us to sleep in the shed. Just having a roof and a door isn't going to be enough to shelter us from the bitter cold.
That's why I gave you a blanket. Be glad I gave you that much. If you'd prefer, you could always sleep outside. Take your pick, the shed or out.
Why are you making only me and our daughter sleep outside? You know she's only 4 years old, right? I can't let her sleep overnight in that shed.
You'll take what you're given. You and that girl have no right to sleep safely and comfortably in my house. Not until you give me a male heir, anyway.
Why do you hate us so much? My daughter doesn't deserve this treatment from you. I'm the one you hate, right? Make me sleep out in the shed, but let my daughter inside.
You were wrong to give birth to a girl, and that girl was wrong to not be born a boy.
I can't believe this. She's your granddaughter.
I have no need for a granddaughter. I told you I wanted a grandson. And I am sick and tired of having to explain this all to you. Now go make yourself useful for a change and do all the work I instructed you to do. Once you're done, take that girl and lock yourselves in the shed. Don't you dare come out until morning. I'm on my way home now. Did you finish getting dinner ready? Oh, as well as the cleaning?
I see you're finally coming back. Yeah, Mom, I finished everything I needed to. And now we are having some much-needed rest. Don't worry, we're not in the house.
You had better be in the shed like I ordered you. So tell me, are the two of you nice and comfortable in there? It's the perfect place for a couple of useless females like you and that girl. Oh, and do watch out for mice. It seems they've built a nest for themselves in there to get through the winter.
Oh, yeah, Mom, it's incredibly comfy here. The room is beautiful, the scenery is terrific, and the open-air spa area is unbelievable.
What? Where are you? An open-air spa? We don't have one of those at our house.
I told you we weren't at the house, didn't I? We decided to stay the night at a spa resort instead.
A spa resort? Where?
The one outside of town. It's about a 30-minute drive from your house to here.
What on earth do you think you're doing, spending the night over there? What has gotten into that ridiculous head of yours? Get back to our house right this instant.
Why would I do that when you won't even let us sleep in the proper room? We figured that if you're only going to give us the choices of sleeping in the shed or outside, we should go and find our own accommodations elsewhere. And wow, am I glad we picked this place.
You useless, good-for-nothing woman! How dare the two of you black sheeps hog all that comfort and luxury for yourselves? Get back to the house and go sleep in the shed!
It's not just my daughter and I at the hotel, Mom. All three of us are here. Me, my husband, and our daughter.
He's there with you?
Indeed he is, Mom. As a matter of fact, your son was the one who suggested we leave your house and stay here. He said that he would never let his wife and daughter stay in the same house as someone who treats us like you did.
You! This was all your plan from the very beginning, wasn't it? There's no way you could have gotten a room there on a moment's notice like this. It's Christmas Eve. All the resorts in the area are either closed or have been fully booked for months.
Actually, the one we're at just so happens to be run by the parents of one of my husband's college classmates. I wasn't hopeful at first, but we called and asked them if there were any rooms available, and what do you know? It turns out they had just received a cancellation earlier in the day, and we were welcome to use the room if we like. What a fortunate coincidence!
That's no coincidence. It is way too good to be true.
To be quite honest, I think you might be right. Seriously? Getting a room at a nice spa resort hotel late at night on Christmas Eve? I'm pretty sure my husband's friend had to pull a few strings to get this room for us. I sure picked a great man to marry, huh? He has connections in all sorts of places around here.
Why did you drag my son along with you? He could have stayed at the house. He was supposed to stay in the guest room.
You really don't get it, Mom? He's finally had enough of you. You were trying to force his wife and daughter to sleep in the filthy, rat-infested shed on a night when a major blizzard was expected. Temperatures are supposed to drop below 0. Once he heard about everything, he got angrier than I have ever seen him get before. He told me, pack our things back into the car and we're leaving. And we did.
Why would he get that angry at me? He's my son. Surely he understands. He must feel even stronger than I do. You failed to give him a son. I'll bet he regrets marrying a useless woman like yourself.
You apparently don't know your son as well as you think you do. He doesn't think like you at all. He loves me and our daughter. He would never, ever abandon us in the cold like that.
Such foolishness. I am positive my son wanted a son of his own. That poor boy. I can't even imagine how disappointed he must have felt when that girl came out of you.
Like that. The only person in this entire family who feels that way is you, Mom.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm the matriarch of the family, and I know that everyone's primary concern is the continuation of our family line.
My husband has a message for you about that, actually. He says, this isn't the freaking Middle Ages, Mom.
Fine. Sleep wherever you want. I don't care. However, you will be back at my house first thing tomorrow morning, bright and early. You have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, about that. We've also decided that we won't be attending the family Christmas dinner tomorrow after all.
What? What are you talking about?
I hope you understand, Mom. The thing is, we just really don't want to have to see your face right now. We won't be participating in any events held at your house for the foreseeable future.
Knock off that senseless, selfish talk this instant. I will not allow you to skip out on the work that you agreed to do.
I'm sorry, Mom, but you are absolutely in no position to stop us from doing anything. Oh, and by the way, seeing as we're not going to attend tomorrow's Christmas party, I also decided that I wasn't going to do any of the preparation for it. You'll have to take care of everything yourself. You'd better get started if you're going to finish in time.
You haven't done any of the preparations? What in the world have you been doing for the last 2 hours?
Looking for a place to stay.
Useless. You are utterly useless, just like I was saying all along. And what about my dinner?
I was too busy looking for a hotel to go shopping for dinner supplies, so I couldn't make anything.
I am incredibly disappointed, both in your reprehensible behavior and in my son for marrying a vile, wicked, lazy woman like yourself. I can't finish all the preparations for the Christmas party by myself. There's far too much work to be done.
I don't know what you mean. I've never had any problems getting everything ready by myself. Then again, ever since we got married, you've been forcing me to do it all alone, so maybe I'm just used to it by now. In any case, you always used to do everything by yourself, right? I'm sure a person as experienced as yourself will manage somehow.
My knees and back aren't what they used to be. I'm not as young as I once was. I can't do it all alone, not anymore.
I know. You were planning to just sit back and relax while I do all of your work for you, just like every year. But I'm not doing it anymore.
What do I have to say to you to make you understand? It's my turn to pass the torch. I've fulfilled my duties as matriarch for the family for decades, and now that you've married into our family, it's your turn to take on all this work. That's been the way my family has done things for generations.
And those old customs will now come to an abrupt end. When I married your son, I swore a vow to devote myself to him for the rest of my life. Doing your chores for you wasn't part of that bargain. So, if you want to keep up your old customs, you go right ahead and do it. As for us, we're going to start some brand new customs of our own.
Please, you've got to come back here. My house has become a total disaster area. I can't do this all by myself. I need your help.
Sorry, Mom, but you're too late. We're getting ready to leave the hotel, and when we do, we're driving straight home.
But it's Christmas Day. If you leave now before even opening the presents, what even was the purpose of coming all this way?
I don't know, having a nice stay in a spa resort hotel. Honestly, the open-air spa they have here alone would have been worth the trip.
You aren't going to celebrate Christmas with us? But we always have a family dinner on Christmas in my family. We've done it this way for generations.
And I'm sure they had a wonderful time doing it that way. But I'm more concerned about my family right now than your family over the last 100 years or so. I don't want to spend such an important day with a person who treated me and my daughter so poorly.
What do you want from me? Tell me. What do I have to do for you?
Honestly, at this point, there isn't a single thing you could do to redeem yourself in my eyes. We're never going to come to any Christmas dinners at your house ever again. We've decided to spend Christmas with my parents from now on.
Then when will you be coming back to visit? Easter?
Not Easter, not July 4th, not even for birthdays. We're never going to see you again.
You can't turn your backs on me like this.
We are never going to call or write to you, and we won't be sending you any birthday or Christmas presents. And anything you try to send to us will be sent back. We don't want anything from you, not even your money.
But I need you. I told you, didn't I? My knees and back are growing worse and worse by the day. I might be able to get around on my own just fine for the present, but eventually I'm going to need someone else around to take care of me.
Spit it out, Mom. What are you trying to say?
I can be the bigger person here and apologize for any of my past actions you saw as objectionable. Not that I'm admitting guilt. On the contrary, I still maintain my innocence. However, if it's what's necessary to move forward, I will apologize.
That's not how apologizing works. Did someone put you up to this? Did one of your relatives tell you to apologize to me and get me to come back?
It's not one of them, it's all of them. I can't understand it at all, but everyone is taking your side.
I can explain that. My husband sent out a late-night mass email to the family explaining what you had done to me and why we were leaving. Everyone knows that we're not coming to the Christmas party because of how you treated me and our daughter. He wasn't going to wait and let you give your version of the story, which would in no doubt bend the truth to make yourself look more favorable.
They're all treating me like I'm the bad guy when I'm not. I need you to come back here so I can clear everything up to them.
They're treating you that way for a reason, Mom. You are the bad guy. You tried to make your 4-year-old granddaughter sleep in a rat-infested shed during a blizzard.
What's so bad about rats? When I was a girl, I'd see rats running around the house all the time. It never bothered me. And the cold? All we had in our house was a single wood-burning stove to keep us warm. You're just being dramatic.
Well, it is very clear to me that this conversation is pointless. I'm done. You don't need to say any more.
So are you coming back?
I thought that would have been clear by now, but since you apparently haven't gotten the point yet, no. You can't even bring yourself to apologize to me. All you've done is make excuses and rationalize your behavior by invoking your family's tradition.
You've got to understand things from my point of view. I have a big responsibility as the family matriarch. Perhaps I was a bit overzealous, but you can overlook that, can't you?
I've overlooked far too much from you already. I was trying to be more accepting of your old-fashioned ways, but now I realize the truth.
What truth?
That you are really not concerned about your family traditions at all. All you want to do is abuse your power as a family matriarch. I talked to your husband and his siblings before he died. They told me that their mother was perfectly kind and respectful to you.
That's ridiculous. She was just the same to me as I'm being to you.
She taught you to cook, to clean, to plan family events, everything. She took you under her wing as if you were her own. And as far as prioritizing having male descendants, your husband's older brother had a girl for the family's first grandchild. And your mother-in-law was absolutely crazy about her. So we're done dealing with whatever psycho power trip you've been on since taking over the role of matriarch. We don't have to put up with you, and we won't. My parents have been inviting us for Christmas dinners at their house for years now, and we're finally going to take them up on their offer. Goodbye, Mom.
Wait! Okay, I see where you're coming from, but let's take a moment and calm down before making any hasty decisions, okay? I know that if you cut me off like this and something happens to me, you're going to regret it forever.
The only person around here with anything to regret is you. You called me a useless daughter-in-law because I didn't give you a grandson for our first child. Well, I say you're a useless mother-in-law for treating your own granddaughter so cruelly. Now I suggest you go make yourself useful and get to work. If you don't serve your guests dinner soon, they'll probably start leaving. We stopped by a few friends in town to give them Christmas greetings and drove straight back home. The whole time, my mother-in-law was blowing up my phone with texts, but I ignored every single one. We kept our promise to never go near her house for any more family get-togethers. From what our other relatives say, that's kind of taken the wind out of her sails. I guess she really was concerned about how quickly she was showing signs of aging and thought she could depend on our family to support her. It must have been a huge shock to see her only lifeline turn their backs and walk away. But my husband is insistent that we not change our minds about cutting her out of our lives. His words were, "She brought all of this on herself. She doesn't deserve our pity." As for my daughter, she's loving the time we're spending with my parents, and my parents feel the same way about her. I do feel bad for my mother-in-law, but my husband is exactly right. After what she did to my daughter and me, she doesn't deserve a single ounce of pity from me.